Breaking Dawn by Stephanie Meyer. Chapter 13. Jared's eyes flickered to Seth and back to me. Sam's willing to take the slow, Jacob. He's calmed down, talked to the other elders. They decided that immediate action isn't in no one's best interest at this point. Translation. We've lost the element of surprise, Leah thought. It was weird how distinct our joint thinking was. The pack was already Sam's pack. Was already them to us. Something outside and the other. It was especially weird to have Leah thinking in that way, to have her as a solid part of us. Billy and Sue agree with you, Jacob, that we can wait for Bella to be separated from the problem. Killing her is not something that any of us feel comfortable with. Though I've just given Seth crap for it, I couldn't hold back a small snarl of my own, so I didn't quite feel comfortable with murder her. Jared raised his hands again. Easy, Jake. You know what I mean. The point is, we were going to wait and reassess the situation, decide later if there's a problem with the thing. Ha, Leah thought. What a load. You don't buy it? I know what they're thinking, Jake, what Sam's thinking. They're betting on Bella dying anyway, and then they'll figure you'll be so mad that I'll leave the attack myself. My ears pressed against my skull. What Leah was getting sounded pretty spot on, and very possible too. If that thing killed Bella, then it was going to be easy to forget how I felt about Carlisle's family right now. They probably look like enemies, like no more than blood-sucking leeches to me all over again. I'll remind you, Seth whispered. I know you will, kid. Question is whether I'll listen to you. Jake, Jared asked. I have to sigh. Leah, make a circuit, just to be sure. I'm going to have to talk to him, and I want to be positive there isn't anything else going on while I'm phased. Give me a break, Jacob. You can phase in front of me. Despite my best efforts, I've seen you naked before. It doesn't do much for me, so no worries. I'm not trying to protect the innocence of your eyes. I'm trying to protect our backs. Get out of here. Leah snorted once and launched herself into the forest. Could hear her claws cutting into the soil, pushing her faster. She was inconvenient but avoidable part of the pack life. We'd all thought nothing of it before Leah came along. Then it got awkward. Leah had average control when it came to her temper. It took her the usual length of time to stop exposing of her clothes every time she got pissed. We'd all caught a glimpse, and it wasn't like she wasn't worth looking at. It was just so not worth it when she caught you thinking about it later. Jared and the others stood staring at the place where she disappeared in the bushes with wary expressions. Where's she going? Jared asked. I ignored him, closed my eyes and started putting myself together again. It was like the airwaves were trembling around me, shaking out from me in small waves. I lifted up on my hind legs, catching the moment just right so I was fully upright when I shimmered down to my human self. Oh, Jared said. Hey, Jake. Hey, Jared. Thanks for talking to me. Yeah. We want you to come back, man. Quill whined again. I don't know if that's easy, Jared. Come home, he said, leaning forward, pleading. We can sort this out. You don't belong here. Let Leah and Seth come home too. I laughed. Right, like I haven't been begging them to do that from hour one. Seth snorted behind me. Jared assessed that, his eyes cautious again. So what now, then? I thought about that over for a minute while he waited. I don't know, but I'm not sure things will just go back to the normal way. To normal anyway. Jared, I don't know how it works. It doesn't feel like I can just turn this alpha thing off and on as the mood strikes. It feels sort of permanent. You still belong with us. Two of us can't belong in the same place, remember, Jared? Remember how close it got last night? The instinct is too competitive. So, are you all going to just hang out with parasites for the rest of your lives, he demanded. You don't have a home here. You're already out of clothes, he pointed out. You're going to stay wolf all the time. You know Leah doesn't like eating that way. Leah can do whatever she wants when she gets hungry. She's here by her own choice. I'm not telling anyone what to do. Jared sighed. Sam is sorry about what he did to you. I nodded. I'm not angry anymore. But I'm not coming back now. We're going to wait and see how it plays out too. We're going to watch out for the Cullens as long as it seems necessary. Because despite what you think, this isn't just about Bella. We're protecting those who should be protected. And that applies to the Cullens too. A fair number of them anyway. Seth yelped softly in agreement. Jared frowned. I guess there's nothing I can say to you then. Not now. We'll see how things go. Jared turned to face Seth, concentrating on him now, separate from me. She asked me to tell you, no, to beg you to come home. She's broken-hearted, Seth, all alone. I don't know how Leah can do this to her. Abandon her this way, when your dad just barely died. Seth whimpered. Ease up, Jared, I warned. Just letting her know how it is. I snorted. Right. Sue was tougher than anyone I knew, tougher than my dad, tougher than me, tough enough to get Pelican's sympathies if that's what it took to get them home. It wasn't fair to work Seth that way. Sue's known about this for how many hours now? And most of that time was spent with Bill and old Quill and Sam. Yeah, I'm sure she's just perishing of loneliness. Because you're free to go. Of course you're free to go if you want, Seth. You know that. Seth sniffed. Then, a second later, he clocked an ear to the north. Leah must be close. Geez, she was fast. 2 beats and Leah skidded to stop on a brush a few yards away. She trotted in, taking the point in front of Seth. She kept her nose in the air, very obviously not looking in my direction. I appreciated that. Leah? Jared asked. She met his gaze, her muzzle pulled back a little over her teeth. Jared didn't see surprised by her hostility. Leah, you know you don't want to be here. She snarled at him. I gave her a warning glance that she didn't see. Seth whined and nudged her over the shoulder. Sorry, Jared said. Guess I shouldn't assume. But you don't have any ties to the bloodsuckers. Leah was supposed to when he looked at her brother and then at me. So you want to watch out for Seth? I get that, Jared said. His eyes touched my face and went back to hers, probably wondering about that second look, like I was. But Jake's not going to let anything happen to him, and he's not afraid to be here. Jared made a face. Anyway, please, Leah, we want you back. Sam wants you back. Leah's tail twitched. Sam told me to beg. He told me to get down on my knees if I have to. He wants you home, Lee, where you belong. I saw Leah flinch when Jared used Sam's old nickname for her. Then when he added those last 3 words, her hackles rose and she was adding a long stream of snarls through her teeth. I didn't have to be in her head to hear what she was cussing out, what she was giving him, and neither did he. You could almost hear the exact words she was using. I'll wait till she was done. I'm going to go on a limb here and say Leah belongs where she wants to be. Leah growled, but as if she was glaring at Jared, I figured it was in agreement. Look, Jared, we're still family, okay? We'll get past the feud, but until we do, you probably ought to stick to your land, such as so there aren't any misunderstandings. Nobody wants a family brawl, right? Sam doesn't want that either, does he? Of course not, Jared snapped. We stuck to our land, but where is your land, Jacob? Is it vampire land? No, Jared. Homeless at the moment, but don't worry, this isn't going to last forever. I had to take a breath. There's not much time left, okay? The Cullens will probably go, and Seth and Leah will come home. Leah and Seth whined together, their noses turning in my direction in synchronization. What about you, Jake? Back to the forest, I think. I can't really stick around there, push. 2 hours been too much tension. Besides, I was headed that way anyway, before this mess. What's he free to talk? Jared asked. How? But watch the line, okay? We'll come to you. And Sam doesn't need to send so many. We aren't looking for a fight. Jared scowled but nodded. He didn't like me setting conditions for Sam. See you around, Jake. Or not. He waved half-heartedly. Wait, Jared, is Embry okay? Surprise across his face. Embry? Sure, he's fine. Why? I was just wondering where Sam sent Colin. I watched his reaction and suspicious that something was going on. I saw knowledge flash in his eyes, but he didn't look like the kind I was expecting. That's not really your business anymore, Jake. Guess not, just curious. I saw a twitch from the corner of my eye, but I didn't acknowledge it. Because I didn't want to give Quill away. He was reacting to the subject. I'll let Sam know about your instructions. Goodbye, Jacob. I sighed. Yeah, bye, Jared. Hey, tell Dad that I'm okay with you, and that I'm sorry that I love him. I'll pass that along. Thanks. Come on, guys, Jared said as he turned away from us, headed out of sight to phase because Leah was here. Paul and Colin were right on his heels, but Quill hesitated. He yelped softly and I took a step towards him. Yeah, I miss you too, bro. Quill jogged over to me, his head hanging down morosely. I patted his shoulder. It'll be okay. He whined. Tell Embry I miss having you two on my flanks. He nodded and pressed his nose to my forehead. Leah snorted. Quill looked up but not at her. He looked back over his shoulder where the others had gone. Yeah, go home, I told him. Quill yelped together and took off after the others. I bet Jared wasn't waiting super patiently. As soon as he was gone, I pulled the warmth from the centre of my body and let it surge through my limbs. In a flash of heat, I was on 4 legs again. Thought you were going to make out with him, Leah snickered. I ignored her. Was that okay? I asked them. It worried me speaking for them that way, when I couldn't hear exactly what they were thinking. I don't want to assume anything. I don't want to be like Jared that way. Did I say anything that you didn't want me to? Did I say something I should have? You did great, Jake, Seth encouraged. You could have hit Jared, though, Leah thought. I wouldn't have minded that. I guess we know why Emily wasn't allowed to come, Seth thought. I didn't understand. Not allowed. Jake, did you see Quill? He's pretty torn up, right? I'd put 10 to 1 that Embry's even more upset, and Embry doesn't have Claire. There's no way Quill could just pick up and walk away from Ellie Pershing. Embry might. So Sam's not going to take any chances on him getting convinced to jump ship. He doesn't have a pack any bigger than it is now. Really? You think? I doubt Embry would mind shredding some Cullens. But he's your best friend, Jake. He and Quill would rather stand behind you and face you in a fight. Well, I'm glad, Sam kept him home then. This pack is big enough. I sighed. Okay then, so we're good for now. Seth, you mind keeping an eye on things for a while? Leo and I both need to crash. This felt on the level, but who knows? Maybe it was just a distraction. I wasn't always so paranoid, but I remember the feel of Sam's commitment. The total one-track focus on destroying the danger he saw. No problem. Would he take the advantage of the fact that we could lie to us now? No problem. Seth was only eager to do whatever he could. You want me to explain to the Cullens? They're probably still kind of tense. I got it. I will check things out anyway. They caught the whir of images from my fried brain. Seth whimpered in surprise. Ew. Leah whipped her head back and forth as she was trying to shake the image out of her mind. That is easily the freaking grossest thing I've ever heard in my life. Yuck. If there was anything in my stomach, it would be coming back. They are vampires, I guess, Seth allowed after a minute, compensating for Leah's reaction. I mean, it makes sense, and if it helps Bella, it's a good thing, right? Both Leah and I stared at him. What? Mum dropped him a lot when he was a baby, Leah told me. On his head, apparently. He used to gnaw at the crib bars, too. Lead paint, looks like it, she thought. Seth nodded. Funny. Why don't you just shut up and sleep?